Hey guys, it's Diddy Goose back for episode number 59 of our series of 10-minute games, and of course the analysis following that. And here we're playing against Ram Boys 51 from the Philippines. We got it. Let's go. And we're playing a Caro-Kann. We're going down the exchange variation. Usually I want to play something more exciting, but I've been struggling with like the more exciting versions in this against the Caro-Kann. Like playing the advanced, I struggle after moves like bishop f5. But I play the exchange so that I restrict my opponent's bishops. So here I'm actually thinking of h3 so that he can't even go to g4. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So now I can bring my knight to f3. If he plays something like d6, I'm going to go ahead and play bishop f4. But he doesn't do that just yet. So I think I'm going to go ahead and play this move right here. Should I play this move or should I just play a4? So if we play knight f3 right now, and he plays something like b5, which is a possibility, he might want to play something like this and try to break down our center, which would be kind of annoying. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start with a4 myself, just in case he does this. I'll just take back, easy peasy. But now we'll just go at knight f3 and castle develop. Okay, here is our move e6. I'm going to go ahead and put my bishop on f4 because this is probably the best square for his bishop. And I'm going to go ahead and challenge it and just trade it off. Easy as that. Let's keep developing with knight f3. This makes sense enough. And if he castles, I think I should just be able to castle myself as well. Okay, my opponent plays something more interesting though. He goes ahead and puts the knight in the center of the board. Very cool. If we take with our bishop, he's going to take back with the pawn. And is it going to be confusing where this piece goes? Because he's going to be attacking my knight. But I'm thinking, if he does this and I go knight over here, how bad is that? I'll be attacking this pawn. Let's see. Best way for him to defend. He has this move, f5. That does open up his king a bit to checks, but he still has g6, so he still seems pretty safe. Unfortunately. He also just has queen d5. And I don't exactly see how I would get through with that. So maybe I'm not gonna do that just yet. What we could also do is just knight to d2, but this knight over here trying to prepare something like f3. But I'm scared that we might give up this square, the g3 square. So that seems a little scary. Maybe just castles is the best move here, and then we go from there. It's sort of tough, but I'm going to go ahead and choose castles for now. And I can see my opponent also castling. He goes ahead and plays this move right now. Very cool. Yeah, this is very cool. He goes ahead and plays that move immediately. So I guess now if we ever take, he's going to take back with this f-pawn. And he's got a pretty nice center and stuff like that. One thing we could do is kind of push over here and I guess try to do something on this side of the board. So we could go knight a3 and then push. I don't want to drop this pawn though. That's something, but I guess maybe we could play b4 immediately right here, just so he can't really go to a5. Makes sense, right? And then maybe we could play something like this move and then try to open this up or something. I'm going to go ahead with b4 because I feel like we're not doing the hottest on this side of the board right here. So I think I'm going to try to play on the queen side. And I think I make sense. Anyways, so I could play b5, but he would just take back. And if I take right here, I'm going to be dropping my rook. It's not the best idea. And if I move my knight right now to protect this rook, I'm going to be dropping this pawn, which also probably isn't the greatest idea. So maybe my queen has to go give me some sort of protect this, basically. Thinking about, is this the best way to do it? I'm not exactly sure what other ways there are to do it, though. I guess this is also move queen c, queen c1, queen c2, and queen b3. I'm scared of him starting to push over here, because if I start moving my pieces on this side, so if let's say I play queen b3, can he play g5? It's something that I'm sort of scared of. But if I take over here, and he takes back the bishop with this pawn, then I take this piece over here, can he play just simply h6? I don't know where I would go after that. Which is why maybe I want my queen on c1 instead, just so I can take over here. I'm going to go play c1, then maybe we could push over here. But he moves away his knight, which is really interesting. He gives us this square. If we want it, that is. Do we want this square? Oh, this looks like such a pretty square, doesn't it? We can just jump onto the square. He might play something like knight g6, though. But if we play f5, he'll jump onto this square, which is also a little bit annoying. But I guess we just have simply rook up, and then he gets pushed over here. I think it's worth taking control of this. I think this is a good idea. If he goes here, actually, maybe we should take this piece first, because if he takes our knight, then we just take with the pawn. He has to take back the pawn, or else he loses his queen, and then we're just up a piece, which would be nice. Oh, he goes ahead and plays this move. Interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting. So he is sort of developing his pieces. Good for him. I guess we could bring out our knight this way. This is a sort of weakness that we might want to get rid of in the future. But putting this knight on like f3 might be able to get rid of this weakness. Or not the c3 weakness. Well, f3. He goes here. Maybe we take over here. He takes back. It's risky. It is risky. I think I'm going to do it, though. Hoping that he just takes, and that would relieve a lot of pressure for me. That's probably not what he would do. Yeah, he goes ahead over there. If we take with this piece, he takes back. I guess we can try to play for this square. That's something that I think might be worth. So let's go over to this square. Yep, he takes. And yeah, I don't think I want to get onto this square. That would be nice. Also, if you play something like knight g6, I'm just going to take. Okay, I'm going to attack this. Hopefully he just plays something like b5, then we can play here, and we're all of a sudden in his system. We are in the system. That'd be interesting. He does have this kind of move, I guess, but he lets me come in. And I think this is just a really good idea. I don't know what exactly he's going to do. How does he protect this and this? Oh, I guess his queen is protecting it right now. But I'm going to still jump over here because this is shutting down c3 being a weakness as well. So now, all of a sudden, I feel like I have some decently strong pieces. Okay, he goes back. Fair enough. Maybe it's time to push this pawn, but if he takes, I take. He takes the rook, I take back. I don't know. Maybe I should go over here first with the queens so I can try to make this into a weakness and then open it up. That's what I think I'm going to do. So I'm going to play this move first. And if he goes knight here... Oh, he brings this knight into this square. Oh, I missed that, actually. I did miss that. We have to backtrack a little bit. Trying to find the best move for this queen. And it's going to be a tough move. But maybe this is a good idea. Something like this. But I want to kick out this knight as soon as possible. Let's go here. I'm really scared that I'm actually trapping my queen, though, after something like this. It's really scary, and maybe my queen doesn't actually deserve to or belong on these squares. But that's where we are now, so we gotta make it work. That's what I'm trying to say. Also, we're very low on time right here. So I'm gonna play this move. I want to try to break this open just so we can get rid of some of the pressure over here. That's gonna be tough. But we've got some really strong knights. That's something that I'm happy about, for sure. His bishop is not doing the best because it's blocked off on the queen side. We've put a really nice strong clamp on the queen side ourselves with these two knights, so we can try to focus on breaking open this. And my opponent has to figure out how does he stop me from breaking this open. But I want to go here and take here, and then we'd be able to win some pieces. That would be amazing. Okay, I'm just going to continue with my plan. If he takes over here and I take over here, then you play something like this. I guess I just take this piece. That doesn't work for him. So he's going to struggle a little bit, and we're up some time. Oh, but he just pushes. He just pushed the pawn. And now I'm on the defending side once again. Figuring out how do I exactly save everything. I'm going to go ahead and play this. See if I can bring back my queen. Maybe just here. That's simple enough. Right? If he comes over here, I'm just going to take. Yep. I want to just push this. Get him here, and then we'll take over here. And then I want to try to target this e6 square. Because that is what is weak. I can't let him open this up, though. But I feel like it might not be completely up to us. If he plays something like that, I guess I could play G4. But then he takes, and then I take, and there's still some pins. I'm still going to try this out. Let's see, we might be sacking a pawn, but that's fine. If he goes here, now do I have this move? And he tries to protect, I just push. It's a pin. I think I should try this move. Okay. This is fine for now. There's a lot of tension in this position, but it's fine for now. We could be threatening something just like this, but he moves away. Makes sense. Let's see. I could take here. He takes back. I give him a check. I think I'm going to put this rook over here and try to get over here. That makes sense. If he goes here, I have this move. So we are completely winning. It's just that we have very little time finding out the right moves for this position. But I'd love to just put this piece around here and then just win. Let's see how my opponent deals with this, though. He goes, finds this move interesting. I'm going to go do this. Just trying to push through. If he plays something like this, I just have this move. But his piece is in danger right now. Let's see how he deals with it. I myself am very scared because of the time. But if we had like another minute, I feel like I would be much more confident in these moves. As we keep thinking though, because this position is very complex, especially for the defending side, my opponent's time also ticks down. So there's a chance that if he goes down 2 more minutes, we could see kind of like basically like a bullet game soon. So let's keep looking at this. If you play something like this, I'm just going to take first with check. And actually, we might have checkmate. So let's see. Very complicated game. Oh no, my opponent disconnected. Oh my gosh. It could be a rage quit. It also could not be a rage quit. You never know. But let's look at this. How would my opponent actually defend this piece? The only thing I see right now is this queen to g7, but I guess I have this fork. There we go. And that would kind of crush him, wouldn't it? It would be a very crushing fork. Okay, and the game was abandoned. I think I'm going to take that as a win because, I mean, we had a pretty convincing position towards the end. But that's unfortunate that we couldn't take really convert the complete advantage. Anyways, the game, or the thing did say that I had a few mistakes, but looking over here, it looks like it was a very clean game. So, I'm not exactly sure, but let's go ahead and check out what was going on in this game. So we played all these moves. H3 is the book move. We played A4 over here, which apparently is an inaccuracy. I should have just developed my piece, I guess. Let's see, what's the best move for him here? Maybe Queen C7, I don't know. But I think this A4 is fine. It's not too big of a difference. He plays this, I do this, we trade out the bishops, and this is all natural. He plays 94, and this is kind of where I was like, oh wait, we just let him get his knight in the center. But apparently we played it well enough. B4 is excellent, and I'm really happy about that. It also likes Queen C1, which I think is setting up the same idea. So we realized that, well, our king side is kind of clamped down. So where do we play? We play on the queen side. So I do this, Queen C1. It's good, but Queen E2 was better. Now he starts bringing his knight away, which is like, well, what's going on? I went ahead and put my knight onto the center of the board, which is fine, which is good. And it's not much of a difference from the best move, but it likes developing this piece over here first. I'm not exactly sure why, but I like putting the knight over here in the center first. He goes ahead and puts his bishop over here, and I start developing this piece. After something like f3, I'm a little scared about like knight g4. But I guess we just put the rook over here and then play this king over here, and I'm not. And I guess the king, his piece can't really do too much. I'm not sure. But I like this move, just making sure that he's not getting in. And of course, knight d2 is also good. f3 is the best, but it's not much of a difference. He goes ahead and brings the rook over. And I take his bishop, or his knight with my bishop. This is still fine. Apparently, this was the best move, but wow, that's interesting, because after something like c4, what I was calculating was d takes c4, and if we take back, we are dropping this pawn. So yeah, knight d takes this one. He can take this pawn. But there's a lot of complications, I'm sure. So after we take here, and if he takes back, do I have rook d1? Attacking this bishop with an x-ray? Not yet, because rook d1 would blunder queen f2. But you want to first play queen g5, attacking this knight. So we attack this knight, and apparently rook takes f2 is the best move, which is kind of sad, so I don't really want to look at that. This is also a fine move, but he's down the exchange. So I'm not exactly sure what is their threat here. I guess their threat is just Maybe now it's rook d1. With rook a to d1, so we're not letting go of f2, but we're also just winning pieces. Maybe that's the idea. Apparently knight d5 is also up there, kind of just putting this knight over here. But yeah, rook a to d1, kick out the queen. And I guess then we're going to be able to take some stuff over here, and that should be good for us. Okay, rook a to d1, queen c3, rook c1. What if he just repeats? Oh, knight takes d7. Yeah, I think we just end up being... Wait, I'm not sure. Oh, knight takes f8. That's what I missed. We have tempo with taking the bishop. And that's what's going to help us be up the exchange. And I completely missed that, actually. Did not even think about that. Even from the very beginning when our knight was already on e5 attacking that bishop, I never thought of attacking his rook at the same time. But I took this knight here, which is also not too bad. He takes back. I play knight b3, which is fine, but it's kind of drawish now. Apparently f3 should have been played here. f3, what if he just pushes this pawn? Apparently it's not too big of a problem, because after something like this, what is he going to do? Well, he's not going to... There's no way for him to defend this. Oh, he has knight f5. Then we have knight c5 jumping in. And that's a bit of a problem for him, I'm sure. Knight c5... He wants to save this bishop. If it goes c6, oh, now we have a5 clamping down this center, the queen side again, and then we're gonna be able to focus our stuff on this pawn soon, with something like just g5. That's cool. So after f3, it's not too much of a threat for him to just push. If he takes over here, we can take with the rook, and if he takes back with this rook, we can take with the knight, and it's all good. Actually, I don't know if that's all good. Is it all good? And if you play something like queen c7 attacking this pawn, what do? We have rook a3, which holds together the position, but it just feels really wrong. But if we just move queen e1 right now, he's not threatening to take this, because after trades, we just take his bishop. We're just up. So, we have some time, I guess. Interesting. But we played this is fine. We find a5, which is excellent. He pushes, which is a big mistake. That just lets us get knight c5 in, and now all of a sudden our pieces are very active. Over here, it likes knight b7, which is really cool. Attacking the queen and our knight on b7, that's amazing. But if it just goes back, we just bring our knight back to c5, and then if he goes back to d6, I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what it wants here, because this just seems like it forces this. This is the only move it sees. I'm not sure, because that's the only move that was actually saved this knight. What is the computer on? Why would it think knight b7 is the best move then? I don't know, but actually, look, it says knight b7, queen b8, then back to c5, and if it goes back to d6, now you want to play f3. So I'm guessing f3 is just the better move. Really just want to break this open, which makes sense. That's weird though. It thinks knight b7 is a good move. Anyways, we bring this queen over here. We give him this knight move though, knight f5, which is actually really nice. Apparently this queen of g5 is a bit of an inaccuracy, and we should have just backed off. We just want to play for this thing, and I guess queen g5 is a bit too aggressive and too early. It still works out, but it's very slow, I guess. We could have had f3 like several moves before, and we finally get it now. We play f4, which is excellent, and f3. And we play g4, and now his king is open. We play queen h3, which is amazing. We're pinning this knight, and we're threatening something just like g5, and just winning straight off the bat. So he plays g5 himself, so we can't push g5. Apparently, this is the best move to take. And I'm not exactly sure if this is the right idea, but I'm thinking of this move right now. Because if he takes... I take this piece, he takes back, I take check, he moves, and I take over here. Now this is something interesting, and I guess technically we're up. We're doing a little better, but I don't know how the engine would evaluate this after something. Yeah, queen c, or just this. It's hard to kind of protect this knight. I guess I can chill out on b7 and everything's safe, but it's still a bit scary. So maybe this tactic doesn't work just yet. But apparently after something like this, we have rook f6, this side. He can't take here because of this pin. Oh, we'll take with the knight, and his knight can't take back because of the pin. So we go here. How does he save this knight? Short answer, he doesn't. Long answer, he still doesn't. Bishop g6. Oh, bishop g6 is a move, I guess. But we have knight e6. Oh, this pawn is also completely hanging, which is really cool. So after something like this, now his rook is trapped. Apparently, at this moment, queen takes e5 is the best move, but that's, of course, just losing a queen. But yeah, wow, that's really interesting. But I just took over here. He takes back. I take this. And then we play rook e2, just bringing the rook back over here. And apparently, our friend couldn't find much of a move here, I guess. So he kind of just left. What should have actually been played? So bishop h5 is apparently the best move, because we can't take with this pawn. And if we take with the queen, we're just losing a queen. But then we just have king h1, which is such a silent, easy move. And we're unpinning this pawn, so now we can take. Now he doesn't have any defense for all this stuff that's about to fall apart. So we just take over here, and then it should be easy enough to defend all of this. We can just bring back the rooks, drop down the rooks, and defend. We're up the exchange, so that should be really easy to win now. Another thing we were thinking of was just this move. But of course, this just drops knight takes e6, and we have a fork, and it should be good enough for us. What else was there? Rook h5. That just drops the piece. Oh, apparently we want to do queen d3 first, and then take the rook. Maybe? Yeah, that's interesting. So queen d3 check. Whoops. We still have to play rook h5 first. But queen d3 check, and then king h8. Now if we take over here, and he takes back, I guess the most human thing would be to just take back over here. And then we're threatening a knight over here check, and of course we're just completely invading, and everything's going amazing and everything. So, yeah. Queen h3 apparently is, again, the best move, because you're going to win a piece no matter what, and it's probably better for you to take with the queen than open up your own king to maybe some counter initiative. That's interesting. What else does he have? Rook g6, but that just drops this piece. Queen f8, that just drops this piece. I think those are all the variations, so we were able to look at all of those things, and apparently we played like a 24-50, which is really nice of chess.com to say. We got an exclamation mark for our middle game because we got 90%. Very cool. Our opening was 96.2. Where's my exclamation mark chess.com? But this was the Caro-Kann defense exchange variation, and that was a very fun game. I think that should be it for this video. Not sure what else to analyze here. But we've gone a few more rating points, and now we're sitting at 1990. So about 2 games from 2000 once again. So I'm going to go ahead and end this recording, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.